This is the take Gary got fired for. Wait, he got fired? I thought he got suspended. There is no huge influx. Okay, so here. First of all, here's what the Home Secretary is saying about immigrants coming in, which, by the way, you might notice something about the Home Secretary or even the literal current leader of the UK. You might notice something if you just look at it a little bit. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on with these fucking conservatives? What's up with these brown conservatives? What's going on there? Let's take a look.
Last year, over 45,000 people made the unsafe, unnecessary, and illegal journey across the Channel. Our asylum system has been overwhelmed. We're now spending almost £7 million a day on hotels. Stopping the boats is one of the 5 promises the Prime Minister has made to the British people.
Remember, the more shit gets awful in the UK, and this is basically carbon copy everywhere around the world in most like Western neoliberal capitalist shitholes, the more things get worse for the people, the more there's like an energy crisis, the more there's like a crisis in wages, not hiring enough nurses, not offering better wages and improving the living conditions of workers in the UK, the more they're going to hit the fascism button. Okay? This is how it goes. They're like, oh, the real problem in the UK actually isn't the fact that, your wages are dog shit. As a matter of fact, the real problem is fucking migrants coming over in boats. Okay? The real problem is trans people. Like, it's always the same nonsensical bullshit, dude. It's like, that's not the reason, you fucking asshole. That's not it.
And it's my top priority. That's why today I'm announcing a new illegal migration bill to do exactly that. The Prime Minister and I have been working flat out for months to bring this legislation to Parliament. This bill will mean that if you come here illegally, you will not be able to stay. You will be detained and removed to your home country if safe, or a safe third country like Rwanda. We are committed to helping those in need, like the hundreds of thousands of people we have supported from Ukraine, Afghanistan, and Hong Kong in recent years. But it's not fair that people who travel through a string of...
It's not fair. Dude, same shit. Literally, oh, they're skipping the line. Yeah, dude. You know, the guy who's coming in here on a fucking dinghy, that guy is like, what's not fair is the living conditions that those people are enduring, okay, in their home nations, oftentimes directly caused by like just the British and the Americans too. It's like, dog, you're fucking Indian. Why are you speaking English right now in the United Kingdom? Think about it for like 3 seconds. How? How did that happen? I wonder how that happened. Perhaps the same conditions that led you to being this person, are the exact same conditions that people are trying to also escape. What the fuck? How, dude? How? The point behind it being legal or illegal is that it's a made-up concept, especially as she is generally married. Thank you for the 25 subs. Especially as she's currently in the process of making it more illegal. You know what I mean? Like, if you, as a politician, have recognize that you have the capability of making things more illegal, specifically as it comes to migration, you understand that you also have the capability of making it less illegal. Oh, she's Sri Lankan? I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, Rishi Sunak is who I was thinking of, who is Indian, right? And that doesn't make you any less British than anyone else, okay? Which is ironic because, like, one very important British facet of existence is being this petulant fucking asshole, this petulant, racist, horrifying, monstrous asshole who does not give a fuck about other cultures. They cannot assimilate, I say. A Sri Lankan woman. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. If you can assimilate this perfectly, so much so that you also adopt the classic British racist asshole aesthetic and opinions, then, you know, everyone else can do that too. Now, we're going to talk about Gary Lineker right now. Okay? So this video comes out. Rishi Sunak has said some stuff like, if you're a migrant coming into the UK, you are not protected by slavery, anti-slavery provisions, by the way, which is insane to say.
Safe countries and then come to the UK illegally can jump the queue and game our system.
Look, this guy, like, again, Indian, okay? Speaking English, in the UK, the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom is an Indian man turning around and saying, like ethnically, turning around and saying, if you come to the UK illegally, you can't claim asylum, you can't benefit from our modern slavery protections, you can't make spurious human rights claims, and you cannot stay. The sanctity of the queue. It's so funny, dude. What a psychotic thing. Like, how have we gotten to this point? Rishi Sunak's very existence directly undermines the argument that he is trying to make. Okay? And I'll tell you this much. Motherfucker, the people you're doing this for don't think you're British. Remember that debate that we watched a while ago on British broadcasting? Where the fucking guy was like, well, you know, I've got a mate. Rishi Sunak is not British, and you know what I mean. He's fucking brown. Like, he literally was just straight up like, Rishi Sunak's not British. Like, these people don't see you as a full-blown, you know, British person, okay? They don't see you as a British national. Yeah, it was like British radio, I think. Holy fuck. It just blows my goddamn mind. Anyway. Guy's a billionaire. I don't think he cares. It doesn't matter. He's not on the team, dog. He's not on the team. You still didn't answer how they went from immigrants to anti-immigrants. It feels weird as fuck. What do you mean? What? No, this happens all the time. Okay. I was joking when I said that's so surprising. That's not surprising at all. That's what we talked about. 52% of Customs and Border Patrol officers are literally Hispanic. Okay. We covered this the other day. There was a Border Patrol guy who worked even before ICE, when it was the INS. A guy who has deported thousands of Latinos. Okay. A guy who has deported thousands of fucking Latinos from America was found to have been in the country illegally. He didn't even know it himself. And now he's getting deported. Like, it happens. First generation assimilation occurs. Second generation, it's like pretty much impossible to discern between like someone who's a second generation immigrant versus like, someone who's been in the country for 7 generations. By the 3rd generation, it's over. Every facet of existence completely changes. By the 3rd generation, every single immigrant, okay, every single person that has immigrated into the United States of America by the 3rd generation is completely assimilated. They have achieved full-blown assimilation. And by that, I mean, you can be just as racist as the other people. You know what I mean? Yeah. This guy, yeah, the undocumented agent, after spending nearly 2 decades facilitating deportations, he said thousands. Raul Rodriguez discovered that he was not a U.S. citizen. Now he's at risk of deportation himself. Yeah. You get it? Do you understand? That's how it works. Anyway, so Gary Lineker saw that fucking tweet. Wait, fuck, oh God. I accidentally ended up closing that, didn't I? Anyway, Gary Lineker reached out to, responded to that. Wait, hold on. Let me just reopen these fucking dumbass tabs that I just closed. Okay. So Gary Lineker responded to that and said, there is no huge influx. We take far fewer refugees than other major European countries. This is just an immeasurable, cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by by Germany in the 1930s, and I'm out of order. And then they fired him for this. Gary Lineker will be spoken to by the BBC after appearing to compare migrant policy to Nazi Germany. Thank you, Thanasius, for the fat playlist, which literally we could have just watched this video, I guess, instead.
The gap widened again on Wednesday, 7 games.
Match the Day presenter Gary Lineker is almost as synonymous with the show as its theme tune. But for the foreseeable future, he'll be watching the football rather than presenting it, after the BBC announced he'll be suspended for his tweet earlier this week criticising a government policy on immigration. We have said that we consider his recent social media activity to be a breach of our guidelines. The BBC has decided that he will step back from presenting Match of the Day until we've got an agreed and cleared position on his use of social media. Responding to the Home Secretary's announcement of a new immigration policy, he tweeted, "There is no huge influx. We take far fewer refugees than any other major European countries. This is just an immeasurably cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s, and I am out of order." The recent issue of immigration becoming one of the biggest political topics, the BBC has reacted with a reminder of their policies for their employees. But it was only back in 2016
and I'm out
when
of
the
order.
former player tweeted, "Treatment by some towards these young refugees is hideous." The BBC responded saying, "Gary is a freelance broadcaster and this is a personal Twitter account."
So my question with regards to the BBC is...
Lineker has previously said those impartiality rules do not apply to freelance sports.
He's not a lefty, by the way. He might be good on this, but I'm pretty sure, here, let's look. I don't even know enough about Gary Lineker because I obviously don't watch any football whatsoever. But let's do a funny thing. Let's look at Gary Lineker, Corbyn. Let's Google that. What has he said about Corbyn? Oh, God damn it. I hate it when like new things comes up. Oh, Gary Lineker feeling politically homeless as Jeremy Corbyn sacks soft Brexit baggers. Okay, that's like not that bad. Like he just says he's no, that's not the worst. It's over Brexit. It's not because he's like he's not saying he's like anti-Semitic or anything. Never mind. You guys made it seem like he's like much worse. He might have a difference in opinion. Oh God, it's lame, but I mean he's definitely a cut above like the average Brit. I'll tell you that much. He's like a bit of a lib for sure. Corbyn applauded him on the stance. Yeah, I know. What do you say? Bin Corbyn. What? Will Labour vote in favour of a general election in June and in their own destruction? Of course they will. I don't know. Get rid of Corbyn now and they could be in government by 2027 instead of 2030. Bin Corbyn. What? Bin him? Sack him. Anyway, listen. My point is, in the UK, if you find someone, there's a couple things. There is a couple things that immediately puts you a cut above the rest in the UK, okay? If you're not transphobic and if you defend Palestine. If either of these two factors are a part of like Gary Lineker's political identity, then I will say he is literally a true British leftist in comparison to like 99% of people in the UK. Okay? That's true. Because these two things are issues that, like, unfortunately, most British people are insanely reactionary on. Okay? So if you defend Palestine as a British person, is it how awful? See, Gary, stick to what you know best, Gary. Nothing to see here. Just Gary mourning the death of a terrorist. From the Hamas website, Hamas mourn its martyr, the fighter Ahmed Ataf Mustafa Daragmeh, 23 years old, from Tubas, who rose at dawn today in an armed clash while confronting the occupation forces. Yeah. The Israel advocacy movement. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Gary has bad politics. Anyway, none of it matters. Ultimately, yeah, sure, he doesn't like Corbyn all that much because of the Brexit thing, but that's understandable. All right, let's
presenters.
They only apply to people in news and current affairs.
7 years later, impartiality is the new political frontline. BBC chairman Richard Sharp is a former Conservative Party donor and was recently criticised in a report by a cross-party group of MPs for his role in allegedly facilitating a loan for the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, all while applying for his BBC post. His appointment is currently being investigated, while Mr. Sharp denies the story and has resisted calls to resign.
That's wild, dude. Dude, it's the same everywhere, brother. This motherfucker is a Tory party donor, dude. That's crazy that he just like, dude, British pay for play is so flagrant, is so foul, and it's so in your face. They don't even try to like do the, oh, his wife will now get a job at the company that he like deregulated. You know what I mean? It's directly like, no, I deregulated this and now I expect payment. It's called remuneration. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, here, United Kingdom parliamentary. By the way, I wasn't even joking about this. This is like directly a real issue. The UK parliamentary second jobs controversy of 2021 began with Owen Paterson and his lobbying and breach of Commons advocacy rules, which led to his resignation on the 5th of November. And this was followed by extensive press coverage and debate about the second jobs of other MPs, particularly Geoffrey Cox, a former Attorney General, registered a total income of £970 in 2020 for 705 hours of legal services. An opinion piece in The Telegraph describes how Cox always discloses earnings and that his constituents re-elect him with ever-increasing majorities every time his name appears on the ballot paper. There are more than 90 Conservative MPs undertaking paid work in addition to their job in Parliament, according to 3 Labour MPs. According to the BBC, more than 200 MPs received earnings in the last year on top of their $81,000 annual salary. The extra earnings range from $50 a year to almost 1 million quid a year. Like, dude, that's crazy. Straight up 90, dude. 90. By the way, the fact that this says 50 pounds a year probably means the 3 Labor MPs are doing like literally like dumb fucking, you know, soup kitchen work or some shit on the side. 90 conservative MPs. Yeah. Some Labor guy shoveled a driveway and got money and like basically put that on as like a remuneration. And then I'm sure this is like a wonderful way to make a both sides are doing it argument here. It's like 90 to fucking 3, dude. 90 to 3. Remember, British media love doing the petulant, annoying, smarmy both sides bullshit. Okay? Where they go, there are 4 Twitch viewer streamers, which means 1 regular Prime sub. Yeah, they will do the Corbyn is the biggest anti-Semite that you've ever seen on the planet. It's absolutely mental what Corbyn is doing. Meanwhile, simultaneously, like the fucking Tory party in power will be like, this is a openly pro-Hitler politician whose statue we're unveiling. And if you think I'm exaggerating, what I'm mentioning literally happened. There was nonstop coverage over how anti-Semitic Corbyn is in the newspapers while the Tory party was unveiling a new statue of a politician that had said, no, it's not, I'm not even talking about Mosley. It was it Nancy S. Storr? Who once famously said Hitler had the right ideas about the Jews. Like verbatim. One of the Labor MP's second job was going back to being a doctor during COVID. Unacceptable. The entirety of Britain just feels like, what if Bill Maher populated an entire island? That's such a good take. Yeah. Bill Maher is so British coded. Also because he's a fucking annoying little drunk. Okay? You are correct. I'm married to a Jewish woman. Her family cannot stand Corbyn. I tried to set the record straight, but it started a massive fight. Yeah. No. You can't have that conversation. Bro, there's anarchists. There's lifestylists in here that every single time I talk about Corbyn will pop off and be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Corbyn is awful. Okay? There's nothing in many respects. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know I shit on anarchists a lot, usually lovingly, but British anarchists sometimes can be so fucking annoying. What did my boy Armando Iannucci, the GOAT, say? Has the BBC actually analyzed Gary Lineker's tweet? Because it is factually accurate. A lot of the tropes used now by government invasion, menace, etc. are pretty similar to those used by nationalist parties in the 1930s Germany. Why no analysis? Are BBC history presenters muted too? Yeah. The actual GOAT. Yeah, it was Nancy S. Storr, yeah. Boris literally did massive vile Islamophobia as well, saying women wearing burqas were as going around looking like letterboxes, yeah, and liking their appearance of bank robbers. I remember. Talked about that as well. Also, factually speaking, anti-Semitism, by the way, not just like Islamophobia, which is like super common in the Tory party and expected. Racism is super common in the Tory party and expected. But even anti-Semitism is more prominent in the fucking Tory party than it is in the Labour Party. And that's like factually accurate. Okay? How crazy is it? And yet they never spoke about it. Interesting. Wonder why they fucking ate up Jez's ass like that. That an insane amount of character assassination happened here. Armando Iannucci fucking sucks. He's anti-Corbyn too? What? No shot. I love Armando Iannucci's work. I think he is one of the best political satirists out there. Genuinely shocking that he would be genuinely shocking that he would be anti-Corbyn. What the fuck? You're basically not allowed to be more left than a lib here in the UK? Sorry, let me be clear. When a national party cannot deal with anti-Semitism and indeed seems to reward it, then it starts to lose any claim. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, this was in 2018. I'm sure he knows better now. There's no way. God, this propaganda was so fucking pervasive, dude. Do something fun. This is Zach the Zany. I'm sorry to break it to you, but this is what we do for fun. Like, this is literally what we do for fun here. This is extraordinarily close to regime broadcaster status. Basically, human rights abuses over there are, of course, entirely different to Britain removing legal rights for refugees over here. It takes a lot of education to write something this plainly stupid. The news agent's presenter and former BBC journalist Emily Maitlis said it was curious that Gary Lineker was free to raise questions about Qatar's human record with the blessing of the BBC over the World Cup, but cannot raise questions of human rights in this country if it involves criticism of government policy. However, this is arguably a false equivalence. Voicing an opinion on government policy about migrant crossings, a divisive subject, is not the same thing as highlighting well-documented human rights breaches in Qatar, something which is a matter of fact. No, it's still a fact. Why would you say that? Don't you feel embarrassed to write this when you literally guys, here, let me tell you what this is, okay? Let me put my fucking, Slavoj Žižek style ideology glasses on real quick, okay? Oh, it's saying that it's okay when we do it. It's a problem when they do it. You know what I mean? That's what they're... Yeah, abuse for thee, not for me. Well, how balanced. How impartial. How wonderful. Ironically, the BBC leaned heavily into the anti-Semitism Corbyn stuff. Yes, which was totally fabricated, and was literally crafted internally by the most conservative Labour Party members who specifically created the problem, didn't deal with the problem, highlighted it nonstop, and crippled Corbyn's chances by constantly having the media only talk about that. Only. At a certain point, it got so insane. I feel like I talk about Corbyn's anti-Semitism bullshit all the fucking time, but like, it got to such a degree that, like, what was it? Like, the majority of Jewish people in the UK were saying they would leave the country if Corbyn became elected because they thought he was like the second coming of Hitler. That is like, that's insane. And I don't fault them for thinking that. Okay? I don't fault them for thinking that. They got mass-induced hysteria from straight up nonstop coverage. It's literally what the media put out there. You're a victim of this kind of propaganda ultimately. The Jews being afraid of Corbyn wasn't hysterical? It absolutely is. It absolutely was. Holocaust analogies lead to important political voices equating the Tories to the Nazis and our democracy to fascism. In doing so, they denigrate exactly who the Nazis are and what they did it. Bro, this is a Zelensky Stan account. Okay, nothing pisses me off more than like people who fucking gatekeep the Holocaust. There are valid criticisms to make about people being like, making me get a vaccination is exactly what the Nazis would do. Like, that's a valid criticism. Okay? You can genuinely criticize and be like, okay, you're kind of undermining what the Nazis did. Literally a carbon copy of Nazi propaganda being utilized in contemporary British politics is a perfectly valid reason to say never again. This is what the Nazis did. Never again doesn't mean never again, just not the Holocaust, just no Nazis. Never again is there so you can understand. History is only important as far as you learn the lessons and not repeat them. Okay? It's so fucking stupid. I cannot stand motherfuckers who are like, well, I'm Jewish and I think that, you know, Holocaust analogies are completely invalid in this circumstance. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, dumbass. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really, really frustrating. Okay. No, we're not gonna do the rerun of that classic video. Let's fucking watch this goddamn thing. I keep jumping in and out of this. Because there's so much to cover. Let me close up some of my tabs. My fucking tabs are going crazy. Hold on. Let me just shut off some of these tabs real quick. Let me clean this up. I've talked way too much, entirely too much about the Oi Bruv land and the British. David Attenborough. Anyway, shameful, really. Shameful. The British need not to do this kind of thing. I do not appreciate having to cover the island, Turf Island, all this much. It's shameful, really. Unacceptable, if I do say so myself. So here is Professor Tanja Bultmann, professor of migration and diaspora history, Brexit and citizens' rights, migrant, dual national. She says, hi, BBC. As a German, I can tell you this. When politicians speak in a language not dissimilar to that used in the 1930s Germany, I recognize it. Why? Because I've been taught about it all my life, and that it needs to be called out and rejected. It's a duty to do so, in fact. Here's a thread. The language we have heard from this government, no matter how many times they claim otherwise, is not dissimilar in some ways to that used in the 1930s Germany. So while we need to be mindful of the specific context of the 1930s Germany and should not draw direct parallels with today, when common characteristics, e.g. the use of a not dissimilar language here, we can add and should say so. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, this is too long, and also it's just like an incredibly long way to just say this is the same shit that the Nazis said to justify their violent ideology. Shut the fuck up. The Nazis also, suppressed any kind of criticism towards their ideas. So let's
say the BBC's decision is cowardly and is an assault on free speech in the face of political pressure. Not long after the BBC's announcement, Match the Day colleagues Ian Wright and then Alan Shearer tweeted that they have informed the channel that they will not be appearing on the show this weekend. It's one of the most sought-after jobs in TV, but who dares to take it on Saturday?
Good question. Well, joining me now is Alistair Campbell, former Director of Communications to Tony Blair, who now hosts a podcast produced by Gary Lineker's company, and Times columnist Matthew Syed, who himself hosts a BBC Radio 4 programme. Welcome to you both. Let me start with you, Alistair. I mean, what a mess. But I guess one could ask, did the BBC have any choice?
They absolutely had a choice. The choice was actually to stand up for its own values and not cower and pander to the creeping right-wing authoritarianism, of which this, I'm afraid, is a consequence. And the idea that a couple of tweets from Gary Lineker are a bigger threat to the BBC's impartiality than Richard Sharp sitting at the top of the office deciding how much of a donation to make to the Tory party or who to get in to help Boris Johnson get an £800,000 loan, or Robbie Gibb 1 minute running the BBC political coverage and allowing the myth to develop that it was left-wing, and the next minute working for Brexit and working for the government and going off to set up GB News or whatever it's called, and now back on the board of the BBC. They're the people who should be leaving the BBC. They're the people who should be walking out the door, not Ian Wright, Gary Lineker or Alan Shearer.
Okay, Matthew Syed, you don't speak for BBC management, but you do have a programme on the BBC. And you did tweet just the other day, Gary Lineker's comments made a mockery of impartiality guidelines. Does this not make a mockery of the BBC?
Well, I agree with Alistair that the appointment of Richard Sharp was a disgrace, because it goes to the heart of impartiality. When Tim Davie took over as Director General, he made it an absolute imperative to protect BBC impartiality. I think that is the only way to sustain widespread public consent for the licence fee. Gary Lineker presumably signed up to what Davie had said. And I just think it was a failure, more than anything else, of common sense for one of the most high-profile voices and faces at the BBC, who I much admire, by the way, and whose political opinions I agree with to a very large extent, to compare official government policy to 1930s Nazi Germany. It completely violated what Davie was seeking to do, and it put him in an invidious position, because by sidelining Lineker now, of course, the right-wing anger of millions of British people about the comparison with the Nazis, a policy that many people agree with, not me, but many people do, is now matched by anger on the other side. And it is really Lineker, unprepared to apologise for a deeply inflammatory tweet that I think has incited this terribly debilitating row.
So, Matthew.
Thank you, USA. You are my best friend. You are the peacekeeper. You are the legend's very own Tony Blair consultant. Alistair Campbell looks like a fucking fair and balanced, smart, individual in this situation. You know the BBC has fucking lost the plot. Okay? Like, it's just insane. Completely insane.
Just briefly on this one, do you think it's right for him to be benched then by the BBC?
I don't think Tim Davie had any other choice, because the objective of impartiality was clearly undermined by Lineker.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, there was nothing he could have done. It's no longer impartial. Okay, let's take a look at the impartiality when we talk about China, for example.
The Biden administration has been strongly critical of China's actions on human rights, but engaging on climate change. Do you see that as a strategy that can actually work?
I'm not sure why BBC started with listing only China's human rights abuses. What about America's human rights abuses? The Iraq War, together with the UK, completely illegal and under false pretenses. The war in Syria, the war in Libya, the continued sanctions against civilian populations in Venezuela and Iran, walking away from the Paris Climate Agreement for the last 4 years, unilateral trade actions that have been deemed illegal by WTO. So one can make anything one wants, but we have really serious human rights violations by the United States abroad, not to mention an insurrection on January 6th in our own country, not to mention the continued massive racism, white supremacism, and abuse of incarceration of hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S., Black, African-American people of color. So I think that the whole premise of this story is a little bit odd.
No, but sorry, I'm looking. We have to look. If I may, we have to look.
I found the framing of it not what I expected. I thought we were going to talk about climate change, which we should. But I think that the idea that there is one party that is so guilty, how can we talk to them, is just a strange way to address this issue.
Well, hang on. Sorry, Jeffrey. If I could come, Jeffrey, I'm hoping we can have a conversation. I'm hoping we can have a conversation. And if I could just say, I'm using, and what I'm saying back to you here is, we're also using the framing of the Biden administration. We're also talking from the perspective of how
Joe Biden himself and those around him have talked about the human rights abuses in China. So you know, just to say,
always, excuse me for one moment, the U.S. always attacks other countries. It holds itself sacrosanct.
Anyway, my favorite part of the segment is how BBC host just instinctively takes the role of the PR agent for the CIA in the U.S. while Sachs vehemently rejects being identified with the U.S. regime and its crimes at home and abroad. When it's a foreign enemy, okay, when it's like adopted as a foreign nation state that is declared an enemy of the West, automatically they're done. You can say whatever the fuck you want about them. When it's even an ally like Qatar, but still a country that is, a Muslim country, you can say whatever the fuck you want about them. Now, do not misunderstand me. These countries do deserve criticism, right? They're nation states. They do horrifying nation state shit. Every country does this, right? But it is additionally unacceptable when you can't even say the same shit about your own goddamn country. Okay? That's precisely why I think Aaron Bastani's, his tweet that showcases this disparity is the perfect tweet for this situation, this ongoing Gary Lineker saga. The fact that, hold on, I'm going to pull it up right now. The fact that the fact that they wrote this without even thinking about the irony, without even recognizing the hypocrisy is hilarious. I mean, look. That's it. It's perfect. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean? The news agent presenter, I'm going to read this one more time. The news agent's presenter and former BBC journalist Emily Maitlis said it was curious that Gary Lineker was free to raise questions about Qatar's human rights record with the blessing of the BBC over the World Cup, but cannot raise questions of human rights policy in this country if it involves the criticism of government policy. Okay? However, this is arguably a false equivalence. Like, they are editorializing in this part. This is arguably a false equivalence. Voicing an opinion on a government policy about migrant crossings, a divisive subject, is not the same thing as highlighting well-documented human rights breaches in Qatar, something which is a matter of fact. That's it. They wrote this, bro. They fucking wrote this. They didn't even feel shame writing it. In 2011, Jeremy Clarkson called for striking workers to be shot in front of their families. He continued to present Top Gear for another 4 years. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson has said monstrous things, and that does not shock me at all. The point always is that if you're a Tory, if you're right-wing, and yeah, I mean, he is a gigantic piece of shit. If you're a Tory, if you're right-wing, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay? You can say whatever the fuck you want. It's the same. It's the same in America, too. If I say America deserved 9/11, okay, I get my ass fucked for years. Okay? People still bring that shit up. Okay? When conservatives say identical things, they're fine. Dinesh D'Souza said America deserved 9/11 and agreed with Osama bin Laden on the insane, anti-gay shit, okay? So did Pat Robertson. So did many other people. And they're fine. Americans, or in the Western world, okay, the people that have ownership over the concepts of patriotism or whatever the fuck, those people can get away with saying whatever kind of unhinged shit that they want to say. Cancel culture does not apply to them for the most part. Okay? What did he say? No way he said that. Dinesh D'Souza and Pat Robertson have talked about 9/11 I've talked about 9/11 from the perspective of Osama bin Laden and like defended, or like not defended, but basically said, since you compared your experience with D'Souza, do you think he's getting the bag at the same size as you? Brother, never compare me to right-wing commentators. I will never win that battle. I am the largest leftist content creator as a singular individual on the internet. These motherfuckers are like not even lineup guys, and yet they still make just as much money as I do, if not way more. We just talked about fucking Steven Crowder turning down $50 million, bro. You kidding me? They're all bankrolled by like oil barons and shit. They have unlimited funds because oil barons, unlike the dumbass leftist Twitter users, understand the importance of propaganda. Yeah. You cannot have genuine structural analysis be funded by those who benefit from the current oppressive structures. That's it. No billionaire is going to turn around and be like, yeah, I really want to fucking pay someone hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year, so that they can tell everyone and make good cases about why I should not exist. That's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. I can become individually successful so that, platforms see a lot of benefit in keeping me around because I'm making them money, right? I am profitable for them. I run the top of the hour ad breaks, for example, at the top of every hour, like the good boy. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. You know? You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. But that's ultimately my funding vehicle. Gifted subs, Prime subs, subs in general. That is my main revenue driver. It is independently funded by people like you. That's how this operation continues. That's it. That's what gives me the editorial independence. That's what allows me to say fuck you to corporations that I don't want to work with. That's how I don't get caught in a Gary Lineker style situation. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 5, get the subs. S Slime Man, thank you for the 5, get the subs. Okay? That's it. No platform's giving me a fucking $50 million deal, dog. Let's be real. Tubal ArtG89, thank you for the 5, get the subs. Hasan's Transferry Friend, thank you for the 10, give the subs. Allowing so many people to always see the ads. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. The existence of popular leftist content creators just speaks to how little power the left has in this country. If we had any sort of actual power, they wouldn't allow us to exist online like this. No, that's not even true. That's always, no. That part is not true either. I know what you mean. I think that there are significantly more obvious examples as to why the left has no power than like allowing some fucking random dumbass on not the most successful media outlet anyway, on Twitch, to continue doing agitprop. Yeah, the saying goes, capitalists will sell you the rope to hang them, but also simultaneously remember, like, I'm not even at a place where like me funding, strike funds, me highlighting strike funds, me highlighting the importance of unionization is not seen as a genuine threat to power. So you're right. Okay, you're not wrong. But there are infinitely more glaring, obvious examples of the left's power being completely neutered than a random dumb Twitch streamer, for the most part, that does like a little bit of educational content. Being an online leftist, especially a content creator, requires so much additional mental stamina and strength because most likely you're affected by the things you say as opposed to righties lying for fun. I mean, I think a big part of the reason why I am the most successful one is because I don't get impacted by it as much as like a trans content creator would be. That is definitely a very real thing. Anyway, I'm tired of looking at this ugly motherfucker's face. Face too British, yeah. Yeah, you have the strength to keep your anger entertaining where a lot of us don't. Exactly. That slime of a British guy bit him. Oh my God, that's anti-bald racism right there.